All right, Big Reed here, the world's biggest night show, opening up the airwaves to an individual who I've watched for like the last couple of months on Netflix. If you haven't gotten caught up to date with Netflix's The Circle, you definitely need to tap into season 7, and you're either going to love him or you're going to hate him. Ladies and gentlemen, KFERN's in the building.
Thank you, everybody. Hey, hater or love it, the underdog's on top. Come on now.
You got your only 2 fans here in the studio with you.
And I love them to death. I've already given them the biggest hugs in the world. If they're the only 2, God bless them for them. I wouldn't blame anybody else. I love you guys.
Hey, I had to keep it real with them because as a fan of the show, I've watched all 7 seasons, you know. I don't really watch TV or I don't really watch series. I can't watch Love is Blind, no shady Netflix. I can't watch none of that stuff.
Yeah.
I think the only other one I've watched is Surviving Paradise, where they put him in the woods or something like that. I thought that was funny.
You're doing better than me. I haven't seen that one either.
Yo, I watched The Circle and I love the show, and I think you played a good game. You weren't as deceitful. You aren't the worst person that was on the show this season.
Shout out Madelyn. Thank you for making me the second public enemy. Public enemy number 2. I appreciate you for that.
For real. I don't want to well, we're going to talk about, if you're watching this interview, then you've already watched the season. You know who KFERN is. If you're listening on the air right now and you don't want any spoilers, just watch the interview later on YouTube and go ahead and drive in silence for a few seconds. We all do it. So KFERN, funny story. You live in the Bay Area.
I do live in the Bay Area. Contrary to popular belief, I live in the Bay Area.
And not only do you live in the Bay Area, you live down the street from the station.
The freaking street, Big Reed. When you sent me the address, I was like, okay, let's see where he's at. Like, it's probably going to be a little bit of a drive. I get all ready early and everything. I click the Addy. 3-minute drive. And I'm like, bro's in my backyard. Like, wait, let me look over. Is the studio right there? Is he cooking up right now?
Yeah, you are up a hill, so you probably can see the station from here.
I really can. No, I go to the movie theater all the time here.
For sure. That's crazy to even think about, but I think it's pretty dope, man. Well, welcome to the 99.7 Now Studios. I would say welcome to the Bay Area, but you've been here.
I've been posted up here for 2.5 years. Everybody, I know I'm from San Diego. I rep San Diego. But your boy sells wine out in the Bay, so come get your bottles of wine out in Daly City, California.
You feel me? Out here in the fog.
Yeah, Fog City, and I'm at the thick of it. Let me tell you that much.
For sure. So, originally, you went to school. You're an athlete. I think you were just at your alma mater a couple days ago, right?
Yeah, I was literally I was down there doing I was out there for work actually doing a little recruiting event, and then I ran track and field at Cal Poly. So I went back there to talk with student athletes about how to build a resume, talk to them about the industry that I work in, how I got my career in sales, and then of course the company and school wanted me to mentioned it for me.
Yeah.
By the way, if you go to Cal Poly or if you work for this company, you might end up on a Netflix show.
Oh,
I can neither confirm nor deny it, but they tossed that out there too. So it was cool. I just went back out to San Luis Obispo for a couple of days and then mobbed back here for work.
I heard you're a pretty good lifeguard too.
I do not know the number one sign that most people miss. Deb. Who is a lifeguard in the circle? For crying out loud. Thanks a lot, Deb.
Yo, but the thing is, I feel like that didn't even mess up your game at all. And then at the same time, I feel like, how is that number one? I feel like if anyone looks like they're in distress at all, that's number one.
Okay, thank you. Also, can we talk about the answer that I gave? What's it look like the number one sign of someone drowning? I don't know. Their nose is underwater and bubbles are coming up. Yeah. They're not breathing. That would be my number one tell right there. But shows to go how much that I know.
It's all good, man. So my question is, how did you find your way onto the circle, onto the couch, onto the season 7?
It has been a long time coming. I originally got hit up for another show my junior year of college, and in the Instagram DMs, I thought it was a scam. Literally someone hit me up, hey, I'm casting for this Netflix show. I thought that it was a scam. So I did a couple interviews, but I was like, you know what? I don't know if it's legit. I'm still running track. And then a year later or many months later, the show comes out. I'm like, dang it.
What show was that?
It was 20-somethings Austin. So it was a one season. It was a one season show. Hey, shout out my boy Alex Sharp. He literally found me on Instagram just searching up hashtags or something like that. And so when I saw the show came out, I was like, I really blew like my shot to be on a Netflix show.
Mm-hmm.
So then he kept in touch with me though, and all the producers with it, or the casting producers, were like, you know what, Kev, we think you got great energy. The curls are popping. No, I'm kidding. He didn't say that. But he's like,
I know.
Hey, don't make me leap over this table right now. Don't make me leap over the table.
I got you.
So they said, you know what, we'll keep you in mind for future shows that we work on. So my senior year, I get hit up for Big Brother, which I hadn't really watched a lot at the time, but I went through that whole interview process, and I mean, I got really far in the process, and then it was kind of towards the end where they were deciding who they're going to choose and like asking people what dates they can film. And my parents don't understand, like they don't know the space at all, and like you can't even blame them, right? They both come from immigrant backgrounds, so they're really about like job stability. Once you get that job, you work it until you're at the very top. Like, don't mess with it. So I had secured my job, and they asked, "Can you film these dates?" And I told my parents, and my dad's like, "No shot. You already have a job set. Like, you're not thinking about it, right?" So I said no, and every single day after that, I thought about it. I was like, I should have said yes. I should have said yes. And one night, I was literally scrolling on TikTok, probably like around that time, and I saw a TikTok that said, "Hey guys, check this out. Look at all the different Netflix shows they're casting for right now. They're casting for Love is Blind, for this. They're even casting for The Circle." And that was like the ding, 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 because I had seen the first season with my brother during COVID. Like, my brother's a homie, but we got freaking sick and tired and bored of each other hanging out all COVID.
Sure.
So we were just scrolling, looking at whatever's on Netflix, being like, okay, we can just at least still watch TV. And we saw The Circle, and it was kind of one of those shows where we were like, one episode, let's check it out. Then we watched the first one, kind of looking at each other, seeing if the other one was messing with. We're like, let's check out the next one. And then we got like hooked onto it, but that was the only season I saw. So I submitted a video just to like the Netflix casting site. Didn't hear anything back. And I kid you not, a year later, I get a text from a casting producer. Shout out Meg Malley, changed my life. And she said, "Hey Kevin, my name's Meg. I'm a casting producer for Netflix. I saw your audition tape from like a year and a half ago or a year ago. I'm wondering if you were thinking about submitting one for this season. I would love for you to." And it's funny because I thought it was one of my teammates messing with me. So I almost texted her back like, all right, Nick, shut up, man. All right, bro, shut up. And then I was like, wait, what if this is legit? And I said, holy smokes, is this like real? She's like, yeah, like let's hop on a call and, talk about it. And when we hopped on the call, I go, wow, this is legit. So we started going through the process a little bit. And I was working during all the times that they were doing all the calls because they were on East Coast time. So anytime that I had one of those interviews, I was telling my boss I had a doctor's appointment, I had a dentist appointment, whatever. Oh, I'm not feeling really good. And meanwhile, like I was zooming back home, parking my car, jumping into the chair in my dingy little like apartment room and hopping on all these different like casting calls and stuff, really just having fun with it, thinking it would go nowhere because I've gone through the process before and it didn't go anywhere. And so I didn't have my expectations high at all. I was just having fun with it. And then one day I get a call, and it's from Meg, and she's like, "Are you sitting down?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And she goes, "You made it." And I said, "Shut the frick up." And she's like, "You made it." And I'm like, oh my gosh, I got to call my mom. And she was like, yeah, go call your mom. And I call my mom, and I go, Mom, I just got a call. I made it onto The Circle on Netflix. Like, out of everybody, they chose me. And I kid you not, Reed, the first thing my mom says is, "Do you have enough PTO to do it?" I said, frick PTO, are you kidding me? I'm a movie star now, like freaking out about it. And then, so then I talked to my parents about it, and that's, next thing you know, I'm in the apartment.
Yeah.
And so that's how it all happened, literally just submitting a video to the Netflix casting site. Like a lot of people had gotten reached out to, and when I talked to my castmates, a lot of them like had maybe done something before. Like I know Madelyn was on a show before. A lot of these people had huge social media followings and stuff, and that was just not me. And they came around and asked me like, "So how'd you get on? Like who contacted you first?" And I was just told them I submitted a video.
Yeah, you got on just the organic way.
Yeah.
I love that, man. That's pretty dope. Now, that's cool, bro. I've been lacking on putting my video in, but I'm gonna try it too. I think
Run
it'd
it
be
up.
fun.
What are you waiting for, man?
I don't know, man. I don't know. Maybe I get the KFERN stamp. I'll be all right. I'll be in the building.
Say less. Get the cosign going. Cosign
You feel
approved.
me? So on the show, you were an influencer 3 times.
Three-peat.
Yeah, 3-peat. The first time you were an influencer, you literally eliminated your circle wifey. Sends her and her puppy to the house.
Savannah Sampson, no hard feelings. No hard feelings. Much love. Yeah. That was a questionable decision, to say the least. I mean, this is the thing. And I've told a lot of people on TikTok and stuff. I go in, I get the influencer position. I'm just geeked. I go, I get to get one of those little gold cups. I'm going to be hanging out in the room. This is awesome. And you go in, obviously, knowing who you want to save and knowing who you want to get out. And I had who I wanted to get out. Like, I wanted to get out Rachel, but that was a non-negotiable for Gianna. And then I knew who I wanted to save, Savannah. But things change when you have to talk about everybody.
Yeah.
You can't just go in there and say, okay, I want to get out so-and-so, I want to get out so-and-so, and you talk about those two. No, you have to go over every single person, and you have to go over, like, the pros and cons of them, like, staying in the circle. And so Gianna and I had to deliberate on every individual person. And the more that we were kind of talking about it, I started to think about, like, my strategy going into the game, if I really even freaking had one, to be honest. And I wanted to have my main alliance with the bros because that's just, like, kind of me in real life. Like, I have a brother, so our, like, bond is really strong. And, like, a lot of my friends I consider my brothers, so, like, I feel like I communicate with them really easy. And then I wanted an alliance with one girl so then I could kind of know what's going on the girl side of stuff and get any information in case they were trying to, like, sneak up on me. So as we kept on deliberating, Andy's name gets brought up, and everyone goes, why didn't you just block Andy? You guys weren't that cool. Okay, I get it. And I was thinking the same thing. But then I thought, if I block Andy, Darian is no longer going to trust me because I blocked one of the bros. He's close with Jadeja, who's no longer going to trust me either. And Jadeja is friends with all the girls. So I thought. I kind of figured there was some sort of girl chat or something.
Yeah.
So I thought it was going to be a snowball effect to where everybody in the circle was going to hate me.
And you're going to be cooked.
I was going to be cooked.
Yeah.
And then sweet Savannah over here.
Oh, man.
My
Yo.
My ideology was, okay, Darian and Andy know that Savannah and I are close. If I block Savannah, it shows my, like, loyalty to the bros, but nobody else will really know, like, anything crazy happened because those were the only two that I told them, like, yo, Savannah's wifey, like, Cavanna type stuff. Hey, we're still running with Cavanna. But
Are you?
We'll get to that in a little bit.
Okay, word.
And I was like, if I block Savannah, then there's going to be less repercussions of it.
Yeah.
My biggest downfall, though, is that I forgot my dumb butt forgot that I told Gianna, hey, Savannah's number one. We're not blocking her. And the next thing, bada boom, bada bing, we block her. And then I was like, well, okay. I gave up one of my biggest alliances. You know what? I was the one who sacrificed. We're all good here. Gianna can't complain. Then Gianna wants to start running her mouth in the dang morning chat.
Yeah.
And that's where it all started to spiral out a little bit.
Yeah, it got crazy. Question about the influencer chat. What's in that gold cup?
H2O. When I tell you
Just water?
It's water. And you want to know the thing about it too? Hey, Netflix, I love you so much. But can we step it up? I promise you it was tap water. I promise you it was straight from the faucet. And you know, hey, I'm always down for a nice cup of tap water. But when I'm in there battling Gianna and I grab that gold cup to take a sip, I'm like, this water got a little twang to it. This water got a little twang from the faucet.
not faucet water.
I'm telling you, sure as heck wasn't Voss. I don't know what Voss tastes like, but I imagine it doesn't taste like that.
Oh,
It wasn't any Aquafina or Dasani or anything like that. I thought at least I was like apple juice or something. Nah, it's water.
Straight water, huh? Like why wouldn't it be something special? Like
that's what I'm saying.
Like it needs to be like
that's
elite.
And that's the crazy part too, is people were like, "Oh, you were probably lit in the circle, huh? Like VIP party, all these things. You guys had those bottles." Like I'm out here down in these glasses, being like, "Oh, finally, like I can get something going." You know me working in the wine and alcohol industry.
Yeah.
Strictly for market research when I'm drinking those.
Yeah.
Wink, wink. And then after like 2 glasses, I'm like, wow, is my tolerance that high? I'm feeling nothing. And I looked at the back of each bottle, 0%.
Oh, no.
Yeah, so we were...
Wait, there was nothing? It's
nothing.
0%?
0% alcohol, like clean, sober fun. I was like, okay, so we're not like... I'm telling you, bro.
The entire time?
Yes, we're out here popping 0% bottles.
Oh no! So, but here's another thing: the food in the circle. There's a lot of good. I see everybody cooking, everyone getting it going.
You saw mostly everybody cooking, mostly everybody going.
Yeah.
Your boy was rocking straight TV dinners. I'm no Gordon Ramsay. I'm the furthest thing from it.
Yeah.
I was a ramen. No, not even that. Yeah, I dabbled in ramen in college. I was DoorDash, drive to freaking Popeyes or Taco Bell or something in San Luis Obispo, pick that up, munch it down, go to practice, or like come home from practice, Panda Express. Like I do not cook.
Yeah.
The only thing that I cook is I chef up pre-made chicken in the air fryer here and there. And so then when I showed up, I'm like, okay, this is great. And then I kind of started to realize, I'm like, what am I gonna eat? Okay, I'll start the air fried chicken. No air fryer around there. I'm like, oh. There was no air fryer.
Do they provide you with the stuff in there?
Yeah, I mean, like, I wasn't gonna bring my own. It wasn't like BYOAF, bring your own air fryer.
No, because like, do you order certain food? Do they drop it off? Like, how does that whole thing work?
No, that's a great question. So they go grocery shopping like twice a week, and you just write down on a piece of paper like all the stuff that you want, like Gatorades, like apple juice, Celsius, or like, hey, shout out Celsius. I am sponsored, so Celsius or whatever.
Oh, man.
And then like all the food that you would want too. And then when you go to bed, or if you're doing like an activity in your bedroom or something like that with the door closed, that's when somebody who works with production will go in there, grab the paper, and then they'll go to the store. And then once again, after they're done shopping, you go into your room, or like you're in the gym or something, or out on the balcony. That's when they'll stock up the fridge for you and everything.
Oh, so you don't see anybody?
No, you don't see anybody when they're doing it.
Oh, damn, you really be in seclusion.
Yeah.
No phone. Is it true they leave the lights on the entire time?
Like in the bedroom?
Just in general?
No.
Okay, cool.
No,
I was told that they leave the lights on 24/7.
No, I would have gone insane.
Yeah.
I would have gone insane. They turn the lights off when you go to bed and stuff like that. But like when you go to bed, you like do your good night circle and everything like that, go to bed, but like you still have the mic on. So like you go to bed, the lights will turn off, and then you're like, all right, back on, and then the lights will all turn back on. You take your mic off, put it in the drawer, and then when you go to sleep, somebody comes in, changes out the battery for the mic for like the next day.
Oh, while you're in bed? They come into your room?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, no.
I trusted the circle a lot, Big Reed.
Yeah,
I trusted them a lot.
So yeah, so with the food, you just ate random stuff. I seen other people cooking big time.
Shout out Antonio. Antonio was chefing in. They didn't even show it that much, but he was telling us like he was chefing in there. He's really a chef, so they were chefing in there. Basically, everybody knew how to cook something, except for me.
Yeah.
And yeah, so
Twins had fun.
Yeah, they did. Are you kidding me? They're out there cooking together these gigantic like T-bone steaks and stuff like that. I didn't even know that was an option.
Yeah.
Nobody put that on my grocery list and said we could do that.
Vibes.
Dude, I saw that, and my friends go, where's your tomahawk steak? And I'm like, I wouldn't know how to cook it, but I would have liked one.
Right.
Yeah, just to at least say that I had a tomahawk steak there.
So you went through the circle. You were part of all the games. The games are funny. A question that I got was, why did you pick the lifeguard thing if you knew nothing about being a lifeguard? Like, there's so many different jobs you could have chosen, like stuff that's very simple. but you chose to be a lifeguard.
I know. Okay. Everyone goes, why would you not just go in as your like normal job? People in previous seasons have gone in with the sales job, right?
Yeah.
And I had a feeling with my profile picture and stuff like that, it was already going to very much give off like frat boy or something. Even though I wasn't in a frat, I was a responsible athlete. But I thought that putting in sales combined with that, they're like, oh, this guy's like trying to be super sleazy or something like that, or like he's super full of himself. That's kind of like my ideology behind that. And then you kind of like, they kind of toss suggestions out there and they go, what's something that like would be a super San Diego vibe, you know, like something that like really would say you're from San Diego. And then I brought up lifeguard and they were like, oh yeah, let's run with that. And I thought the same thing. I go, okay, I know absolutely nothing about being a lifeguard. I probably should study up on like what lifeguards do. But instead of that, I just scrolled on TikTok at home. The one thing that I did, I searched up what's the most common lifeguard certification.
Yeah.
And I had that at least in my back pocket just in case. So I thought somebody was going to ask me, oh, okay, if you're a lifeguard, then what's your lifeguard certification? And I was like, okay, like bada boom, bada bing. I'm going to have that answer like that. Who would have known there was a actual lifeguard in there going to be asking that question? Like, I kind of figured I could like bluff my way around the question.
Yeah.
But then, of course, once I had the chat with Rachel and she said, Kevin, I am a lifeguard, I was like, I got. Yeah. I had a split moment where I was like, okay, maybe she's bluffing about that too.
Yeah.
But I was like, you know what? I think I finally got. I got to come clean about this, or else like I'm going to make someone who already probably doesn't like me the most hate me even more and have even more of a reason. So that was like a time where I was like, you know what? This is a good time to be vulnerable. Hopefully it pays off and she doesn't go running to Gianna saying, oh, look what I did. I got this information. And, I mean, hey, shout out Deb. She did not tell anybody. So
She didn't. So that's cool of her.
The first time she held it down in the circle.
Now, back to Kevana. What's going on, man? You know, are you a stepdaddy to her puppy still? I mean, what's the word? I mean, we gotta ask.
Hashtag puppy step pops.
Yeah.
It's funny because after I blocked her, I'm like, this girl is gonna want nothing to do with me. And so when she came and visited, I'm like, oh my gosh.
Yeah.
She was so cool and understanding. When she came to visit, like every couple of seconds, like, we were whispering to each other, and I'm like, I'm so sorry. And she's like, no, it's good. It's like, you're chilling. It's good. I'm like, dang, this girl is really understanding. I'd be heated personally. That's just me, though. And so then we do the whole finale and everything like that. We exchange info. We're kind of chit-chatting. I'm like, let's see where this kind of goes. And then next thing you know, she's in San Francisco for SantaCon last year, and she popped out for the weekend. We did the whole SantaCon thing. And that's when her and I were like, yeah, we were posted up. I had my little red jacket on. She had a little Miss Claus fit on and everything. And then during that weekend is when I was like, because of course you get to kind of know each other a little bit throughout the game, but there's so much more to learn about everybody. And so when we were going out and stuff though, or just hanging out, I realized that her vibe and energy was so similar to mine. It was scary. We went to a bar, and I'm the type of guy where even off like one drink, even sober for crying out loud, like I'm gonna break out a Dougie for no reason.
For sure.
And so we went to like a little bar, and then music starts playing, and she's turned and not even turned. Like she was vibing, dancing a ton. I'm the type of person to go up to a random person, start yucking it up with them at a bar. Next thing you know, you leave thinking that you're best friends. She was like the same way. So we were going up to people, like we had a huge group of friends by the end of it at this bar that was started as strangers. And so when we were leaving, I was like, okay, wait, this girl's actually pretty dope.
Yeah.
And so she came out for that. I went out to Miami to go visit her. And then we met, crazy enough, then we met in the middle and in Houston and did a little double date action, met up with Jadasia and Darian.
Yeah, because they're making TikToks together right now.
I got him in the drafts.
Oh man, okay, you got him in the drafts.
We got him in the drafts.
All right.
We got him in the drafts. But yeah, so yeah, no, it's smooth. Like you grow close to someone who the one thing I will say is like I can talk about it with people like the show and stuff, but you really don't get it per se unless you're like you go through the experience of the show, you know?
Absolutely.
So like my family and friends, when they ask me questions, they get a really good understanding. So they understand most of it, but the people who get it the most are the ones who have done the season. So we're able to talk about things regarding the show that like a lot of other people probably wouldn't understand, and that goes with all my castmates. That's why like I'm really close with a lot of them.
Yeah.
So like, I mean, shoot, we were on the phone the other day and stuff like that. She's just a person that is really easy to talk to, and you know I can just have a normal conversation with after work or something, say what's up, and then do that. So no, we're vibing. We're vibing.
So y'all just homies.
Yeah.
Y'all just born at home. little something.
Yeah,
you know,
situationship or something like that.
Yeah,
I don't
something
know.
like that. Okay.
Yeah,
We're gonna
yeah.
have more than one circle wedding.
Yeah.
We're gonna have two of them.
I was gonna say, hey, Darian, you need a groomsman, and then
you know,
like we'll pull up, and then we'll see what the vibes are, and
yeah.
If Darian has or when they have their wedding, I have a feeling I know who my date's gonna be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
That's what's up. For sure. Because, you know, a lot of people thought that you were, you know, simping over Madelyn. And that's the reason why you blocked
The
Darian.
whole internet is thinking that right now. And do you want to know who also, when she saw the edit, was like, oh,
Savannah.
people. Yes, dude, Savannah.
Everyone was like, yo, he must be super interested into Madelyn's
Oh my
OnlyFans.
gosh.
That's the only thing I see online.
Every comment online. Oh, wow. Bro for sure was trying to get the link. Bro was for sure asking for the link right afterwards. He subbed. I know that he subbed and he paid right when he got home. No, like, Madelyn's chill. Like, her and I are chill. But, nah, like, I really wasn't simping. Like, the only reason Madelyn and I were so close, and they don't show this, is the conversation that Madelyn and I had was way longer than what they showed on camera.
How long are those conversations typically?
Hour, I want to say.
Sheesh.
I'll say it like this. I feel like, because truthfully, there's not many clocks in the house, in the apartment, or not many that are accurate at least.
Like you're in prison.
Bro, you think, okay, there's one on the oven, and I go, okay, it's 4 o'clock. Okay, that's good to know. But then you'll look at the microwave, and it's like, well, the microwave says that it's 12:30. And then you'll like go into another room, and there's like an actual clock, and you're like, well, this one says that it's 1. So I just gave up. I was just like, you know
can't
what?
Ask anybody?
Bro, they're not going to tell you. Like,
that's crazy.
the only time I knew kind of what
Torture.
the only time I knew what day it was, maybe once or twice, was there was this dude who would like come get the trash every now and then. Such a chiller. And you would get to say a couple things to them when they came in there. You're usually eating your food. A lot of the food you ate was off camera, like when they weren't filming. And the only time I knew what day it was I asked him like, hey, when was the last Thursday night football game? And he would be like, yesterday or something. I'm like, okay, so it's the second week and it's Friday. Okay, it's the second week and it's Friday.
How many weeks were you there?
Dude, you're there for like 3 weeks.
Oh, damn.
Yes.
Unless you get eliminated. Like
Sorry, Savannah. Savannah had a solid 4 days in there.
Oh, my God.
Yes.
Sent
So
her straight to the house.
So that's the thing about it, too, is you're playing the game, obviously, which is the competition within itself and already mentally taxing. But then you have the other factors of just being isolated, not knowing what the heck is going on in the outside world, and then not even knowing what day it is. Like, not even knowing what day or what time it is. When I'm living life out here, I'm not thinking about that. But then when I was in there, I'm like, shoot, how much time has passed? Has it been an hour? Has it been like 4 hours or something like that? So it's kind of weird.
So you basically know nothing that's happening in the world.
No. Oh, my gosh.
So you come back, like, what was one thing that you came back to? Like, what was one story that, like, just blew your mind that you came back to and it happened?
No, this one's crazy because in, like, the pre-filming stuff, I was in there even longer. I was in there longer than any of the other contestants on the show.
Yeah.
And so in total, I was there for, like, 6 weeks or something.
Damn.
I get back, and you have no phone, no TV or anything, and I get back, and the whole Free Palestine movement has gotten really big, really going, and I came out and stuff like that. I kind of felt like ignorant to it because I didn't really know a whole lot of information. I don't get to read any news or anything like that. No information. I'm a sports guy. I'm a Clippers fan. Sorry, Bay Area. I mean, they were San Diego, but I'm a Clippers fan. So
I mean, we're not offended by that. The Clippers been getting clapped for a long time.
We're on the come up. Kawhi, please play more than 4 games.
Look, y'all. Only thing y'all got is a nice arena.
Okay, and I gotta pop out to it too.
Yeah.
But you just seeing a lot of sports news was the biggest thing to me. I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but you would see injuries or trades or anything like that. That was another thing too. The number one thing when I got into the circle, I was like, dang, I didn't give anyone my fantasy football password. I'm about to get smoked for a couple of weeks.
The whole season, it's a wrap.
Literally that. So, I mean, there's a lot of stuff that in my day-to-day too, I feel like a lot of stuff happens. It was tough. I missed my brother's birthday when I was in there. I missed cousins' birthdays and stuff like that. So you miss a lot of just really special moments and stuff like that, but you're also kind of making your own special moment in there.
Absolutely, for sure. What's one thing about this season that you would have changed? Or what's one tactic would you have done differently? And tread lightly, okay? Because the internet's already asking. And for the record, you're not racist.
Thank you so much. Because man, the internet was brutal on my ass with that one.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, when did this happen? That was another one within itself because a lot of fans were watching the shows right when they dropped, but I had to go to work, so I'd wake up and it's already been 5 hours or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I remember looking at my comments one day and I'm like, what the heck happened, man?
Yeah.
But looking back to see anything that I would have done differently, it sucks. It sucks so much. But I would not, even though it was good, it was cool to talk about my actual emotions and feelings and how, which I never do, and how I feel about my family with Madelyn. Looking back, I don't know if I'm not sure if I would have been as vulnerable with information like that. Knowing now how people can manipulate it. I mean, previous seasons, I thought that it helped when you opened up with people because it made a stronger bond in that sense, which it kind of did with me and Madelyn, but
yeah. Apparently.
Yeah, and then she screwed me. So I don't know. Oh, no. Looking back, if there's one thing that I could do different, I know 100% right now. What am I thinking?
Okay.
Final ratings. Final freaking ratings, man. I play this, some would say dirty game, backstack a couple people here and there.
Yeah.
And then the final ratings come out.
Yeah.
Or it pops on the screen on who we're supposed to vote. And then it says on the screen, you can either vote with strategy or you can go with your gut on who you think played the best game. And for some reason, out of the weeks and weeks that I was there, I had a kumbaya moment.
Yeah.
And I go, you know what? Gianna played a really freaking good game. We were influencers 3 times.
Yeah.
Game recognizes game.
Yeah.
I went soft as heck.
Yeah.
I voted her first.
Crazy.
Voted her. I gave her the win. I gave her, and this is back to being ignorant in general, which half the internet's already saying.
Yeah. You
but,
might as well just embrace it.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I was personally.
Yeah.
And I'll tell you who I was rooting for. I wanted Jadeja to win.
Fair.
And at first, I wanted Darian to win, but I was like, this dude isn't even playing the game. He's too focused on her. That's all he wanted.
He's focused on a different game right now.
He got a different game. And I was like, okay, Jadeja's the one. I want Jadeja to win. And we were talking about it on our these IG lives that we do. You got to hop in one day.
I'm so down.
I think
I'm super down.
people would really love that. The Night Show fam especially.
Heck yeah.
But like, they were going for you, and I was like, nah, I don't see it.
Shout out to you guys. Shout out to you guys.
My boy, who you talked to earlier, Juan, he wanted the Twins to win, which they ended up winning, and they were
those saucy Italians, those saucy New Yorkers.
Honestly, they were annoying to me at first. Over time, they grew on me, but at first I was like, I can't stand these dudes.
Dude, the lines, they're like one-liners, low-key killed me. Like,
yeah, they were funny.
I hated them when I played against Gianna. I hated Gianna so much. And then when I started watching too, I'm like, dang, these guys are kind of haters. But I knew them in real life at that point, and they're so chill.
Yeah.
But Cockroach with a perm, that was good.
Yeah.
Like I'm like, okay, that one was pretty funny. Those ones, like the perm.
And it's not a perm, right?
Yeah, it's all natural, dang it. Shout out my pops. I'm Mexican and Portuguese. These are straight from my pops.
If you were to pick the top 5 over, of course, including yourself, so 4 other people, who would you have on that couch with you for the finale?
For the finale? Like looking back now?
Yeah, I mean, I obviously you got to answer this very wisely right now because
my number one choice. My number one choice, of course, does Savannah and Samson. Like, no, looking back, actually though, if things went according to plan, Savannah on the couch because hopefully get a number 1 rating, and also like post show and everything like considered and whatnot. Like we're super cool. I would say Gianna. Like Gianna ran the game with me. Like we really ran it up in there.
Sure.
Yes, we ran it up in there. So if I could choose, I would have wanted it to be Savannah, Gianna, Darian, Jadeja. I feel like.
Yeah.
I feel like that's how I would have wanted it to be. So like Darian, Jadeja as the kind of couple, me and Savannah as the couple. And then Gianna up there because they played a good game, you know.
Yeah.
If I could have chosen, that would have been like a solid, like that would have been a fire finale couch.
For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I thought the show was really good, man. I thought all of you guys did good. I really enjoyed watching this season, and
thank you, bro.
I look forward to seeing the more type of things you yourself gets involved in, because you're definitely a character. Y'all got any questions? Because y'all sitting over there. I mean,
Talk to me.
Me and Christina, what y'all got anything that I didn't ask that you want to know?
And yeah, come on, get the notes out. Let's do it.
They got notes?
Heck yeah.
Oh my goodness.
They came prepped.
All right.
Okay, what did you usually do in your downtime during the circle?
Great question.
Downtime in the circle.
Downtime in the circle. Well, they have you do like
puzzles.
Bro, puzzles on puzzles on puzzles. No, they have you do like all these little activities because you. Should I be looking at you, or which way should I?
Does you
this
can
work?
look at them. The camera's right here.
I wasn't sure how the mic was like doing and stuff like that.
Talk to the mic. As long as the mic hears you.
Okay, cool. No, so the downtime they have you. There will be like a period of time, and they're like, "All right, activity time," and you're like, "What do you mean activity time? There's nothing here to do an activity with," and like a producer person would be like, oh, like, just make up a game or something. And so I'm like, oh, I have a coat hanger, laundry hamper, and a freaking football. So let's see what we can make a game out of this with. So you're like making a game out of that. That's like all filmed stuff. So, I mean, obviously they wanted downtime content. So that's like when you saw me doing the like boogie board, like on the table, and then I knocked over the plant and stuff like that. Or like trying to juggle paper towels. So you really just had to get creative on something because they wanted, a lot of times they'd be like, okay, let's get active and do something. But there obviously is like kind of quote unquote rest time. That is when, for the first time since probably junior year of high school, I read a couple books. I read the Gucci Mane autobiography and the 50 Cent Hustle Harder, Hustle Smarter business book.
So random.
Yeah, I brought those books because you could bring. They were like, okay, bring entertainment. So I honestly brought like 4 books, but 2 of them were hardcovers that you couldn't take like the cover off the sleeve because they couldn't have anything branded. That's another thing too. You couldn't have any branded clothes or anything like that. So I came in with these Ethica boxers that have like designs on them, and they go through all your clothes and like take out any t-shirts that have a design that might be copyrighted or whatever it may be. And they hand you back your luggage being like, all right, here you go. Like, here's your stuff. And I look at my luggage and go, bro, where are my drawers at? Like, where are my boxers at? And they're like, dude, it was all copyrighted. And I go, I will not play this game until someone, I rock with the Ethica, not even sponsored. I'm like, someone needs to go to the store and pick up boxers for me. And so they did. They went and got that. So, no, it was wild. So, like.
They don't take his drawers?
That's what I'm saying, bro. And so, I read some books. And then you only get to go to the gym, like, when you're allotted time, because other players might be using the gym, right? So sometimes you would maybe want to work out or like go to the hot tub or something like that, but other players were using it. So I ended up just doing like a lot of like literally prison workouts, like prison work. I was like curling like the chair or something, or like doing push-ups or like planks on the table. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, and then I asked them, or they would do like Jenga, stuff like that. And I remember asking them, I'm like, oh, can I get a Lego set? Thinking I would get those big Lego bricks. And they brought me this 2,000-piece Lego owl. And I probably tried for an hour and got like 4 pieces together. And I'm like, okay, I give up. I give up. That's it.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So that was like most of the downtime stuff. Any other question?
I think mine was just like, did you feel like super isolated in there? Like,
Yes.
did you just not leave at all?
100%.
Touch grass or like go outside?
No, literally. No, my first 4 days I didn't go outside at all. At all. And then I kind of like talked into my mic, because obviously there's producers on the other end of the mic and stuff, and I go, am I like allowed to request outside time? Or, because my thing too is I really did not want to be overly quote unquote like pushy with any request, because I'm like, dude, they're bringing me onto this TV show. They could have picked anybody in the world. So that's why when they asked me what I wanted to eat, I said Uncrustables, chicken, Dino chicken nuggets, Humble King, Dino chicken nuggets, or like stuff like that. So, but after the 4th day, I'm like shaking from like the vitamin D deficiency, and I'm like, is it possible to go outside? And they're like, have you not been outside yet? And I go, no. They're like, yeah, let's go right now. So then I went out to the balcony. Trying to think. Yeah, that was the most part. Anything else? Wait, truthfully, I'm so sorry. I forgot the question you asked after I was done with that story.
Just, like, did you feel isolated?
Oh, yeah.
I think yeah, but maybe.
And like the conversations are good and stuff, but it's through a screen. And so I felt isolated mainly from the standpoint of I hadn't seen my parents or my family in like a minute before that. And then when you're in there, you really start to think like, dang, when was the last time that like I kicked it with? You really do a lot of like internal thinking, but I'm glad though, because it made me way more appreciative of like the time that I do spend with people now. Like every conversation I have with someone now, I really try to think afterwards, holy smokes, I remember the time I was craving like to say hi to somebody. You feel very isolated in the downtime of stuff. When you're doing the activities, the games, when you're having the chats, you're obviously really preoccupied and like stimulated. But when you're not stimulated, I think the most isolated I felt was there was a pride parade going on outside, and people were turned in the streets. Like people were dancing, partying, and you could kind of hear it. And you were like, you could peek through the window, and I'm like, that looks so freaking fun. And I have not talked to a person in however long. Like at that point, it was probably a week or something like that. So yeah, but when it came to the isolation and that mental aspect of it, I really had to treat it as like, okay, this is like part of the challenge. Like obviously the game is the challenge, but this is part of the challenge. So I have to embrace this and like keep the same game mentality and just keep on telling myself, okay, one more day that I get through this is hopefully closer to the finale, and then I'll be able to talk to somebody.
Right.
So yeah.
Also, like, when you were like sending messages and stuff, did it look exactly how it looked like on the show?
No,
Oh,
It's not like a.
It's
like
not-
the circle
it's
thing?
not voice automated. It's you're talking through the mic and stuff, and somebody up there is typing out all the messages, so it's delayed. So you'll say something, and then you'll have to wait because it's delayed. And then obviously each chat that you have, or like each time you get to say something, you really want to get the most out of it. So I would say like 5 sentences, and they'd be like, nah, that's way too long. That's a paragraph, Kev. We got to chop that up. So you would have to like cut down any type of the like quote unquote fluff and kind of like really just get straight to the point. I kind of figured after the first couple of days, I was like, okay, each chat I have to be more intentional and just get straight to the point instead of just tossing in a lot of likes and and like stuff like that. But yeah, anything else?
Good.
Word.
For sure. I wanted to make sure they had a chance
Yeah,
to ask you a couple
absolutely.
of questions, man.
Absolutely.
Well, look, bro, I appreciate you pulling up. I appreciate you giving
Thank
us some of
you.
your time, man.
Any day of the week.
Well, I'm looking forward to seeing more from you, my guy.
Hey, this is just a start, but I want to say thank you so much for having me on. Like this is, I know going on the circle's crazy experience. This is the crazy experience. Like when we walked in here, I'm like, this is insane.
Word.
So thank you so much for having me on. It truly means the world. I appreciate
It's
it.
all good, man. We're going to go into the big studio in a second, man.
Fire.
But give it up for Kevin. KFERN.
Peace. Thank you guys. Thank you.